in the front. To make it to this day is a wonderful thing. The commencement exercise of 2017 for the Department of Social Work and the Department of Counseling in the College of Health and Human Development at California State University, Fullerton has now begun. I'm David Cheneau, and I'm the chair of the Department of Social Work.
And I'm Leah Brew, the chair of the Department of Counseling.
We are honored to be here to welcome our students, their families and friends, their support systems, and our faculty and staff. So that you'll have a lasting record of this, there are photographers taking pictures of the graduating students as they are hooded, crossing the stage. And also, in order to avoid an exaggerated startled response from your neighbor, if you could mute your cell phones or turn them off, that would be appreciated. We also want you to know that there will be receptions for both departments immediately after the ceremony. For the Department of Social Work, the reception is on the second floor of the EC building, just outside the social work office on the patio. For the Department of Counseling, the reception is here in this building in the courtyard. At this time, it's my honor to introduce Vice President Berenicia Johnson-Eanes, who will speak later in the ceremony. Dr. Eanes, thank you. We are honored to have her here on behalf of the university. I'd also like to welcome Dr. Lori Rhodes, the Dean of the College of Health and Human Development.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm thrilled to be here with you today for this wonderful celebration, and it is indeed my pleasure to welcome all of you on behalf of the College of Health and Human Development here at Cal State Fullerton. Like Dr. Cheneau, I also want to thank Vice President Eanes for participating in our ceremony today. Thank you. Dr. Eanes is a terrific supporter of all of our students at Cal State Fullerton, and she provides exceptional leadership for our entire campus. As you know, we have truly top-notch graduate programs in counseling and in social work. Our faculty are experts in their fields, and we are grateful for their commitment to teaching and to mentoring our students, as well as for their contributions beyond our campus to our communities and to their professions. These departments also have outstanding leadership under Dr. Leah Brew and the Department of Counseling, and under Dr. David Cheneau in the Department of Social Work. Today is indeed an exciting day. Earning a degree is not an easy thing to do, and it takes years of focused attention, dedication, the ability to stay the course as life goes on around you, and for many of you, some very difficult times. Your being here today is a clear testament not only to your knowledge and intelligence, but also to your ability to persevere and to be resilient. What you have done has been challenging, but you have stayed the course and you have met all the requirements required for you to be here today. You leave this campus ready to be professionals in your fields and to make important contributions to our society. And the professions you have chosen are ones that will make a very real difference in our communities. Thank you for going into fields that touch the lives of individuals, of our families, and of our society as a whole. Today, you also become part of the history of our campus and of our college family. You are our newest graduates, and I want you to know that we will always care about you, we will care about your success, and we will care about you personally as well as professionally. So for all of us today, this is a wonderful opportunity to celebrate our students. I want our students to know how proud we all are of you. We congratulate you on your preparation and celebrate with you as you make this transition into your professional role as leaders in your field. I know that you will do great things, and wherever you go and whatever you do, you will always be a Titan, and you will always have a home here. So thank you, and again, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all of you who join us today, and I congratulate our graduates.
Thank you very much, Dean Rhodes, and we appreciate her support. This wonderful event today is being video streamed for the first time, by the way, our commencement being video streamed. And Dr. Rhodes is the one to thank for that. In concert with Dr. Brew and myself, we were able to video stream this event for anyone who was unable to attend. So I would like to welcome and recognize the family, friends, and support systems of our candidates for graduation. You were the ones who have provided encouragement and support to make it possible for our graduates to achieve this proud point in their lives. A few of our Spanish-speaking students have written out a few lines that I would like to try to not mispronounce as much as possible, but I'll say them both in Spanish and in English, but particularly for their relatives, some of them who may speak only Spanish. Como dice Gene Wilder, en la película Willy Wonka, en la vida hay momentos en cual las palabras no existen, pero si existieran, le daremos a nuestros padres y seres queridos gracias. Por ser la fortaleza en nuestros tiempos de dificultad y frustración, lo que cumplimos hoy es gracias a ustedes. So for those of us like me who need to hear this in English, as Gene Wilder says in the movie Willy Wonka, for some moments in life there are no words. But if they existed, we would tell our parents and loved ones thank you for being our strength in times of difficulty and frustration. And our graduates would like you to know that what they accomplished today is thanks to you. Another group of individuals who have played a significant role in our candidates for graduation, in their accomplishments as students, is our faculty. Both of our departments have wonderful faculty, and we want to recognize their role in mentoring all of our students. And I want to introduce the faculty from the Department of Social Work. First of all, Dr. Mick Young Kim Go, please stand. Dr. Sean Hogan. Dr. Juye Ji. Dr. Dennis Cow. Dr. Kyung-hae Karen Lee. Dr. Michelle Martin. Also, our Director for Field for Communities, Miss Deborah Saxton. Director for Field Students, Marcela Mendez. Another one of our fine lecturers, Lori Alamand. And our CalSWEC project coordinator and lecturer, Dewan Tren. Also, Christina Lovato Herman. And our admissions coordinator, Kelly Segovia. And Michelle, oh, Michelle's not here today. Sorry. We have a few faculty who are not here today. We're unable to make it. And also, we have some fine part-time faculty. I wanted to introduce Mr. Gary Taylor. We're delighted to have him join us.
And I'm going to introduce the counseling faculty, Dr. Jose Cervantes. Dr. Sapna Chopra. Dr. Matt Engler Carlson. Dr. Olga Mejia. Dr. Mary Reed. Dr. David Shepard. And Dr. Rebecca Smart. I also wanted to acknowledge Dr. Jeffrey Kotler, who has retired. He sends his best wishes to all of you. Yeah, aw, right? Yeah. All right, we'd like to welcome all the counseling and social work students and their families to be part of our celebration today, honoring the achievement of this next generation of marriage and family therapists, counselors, social workers, and social activists. Our students have not only survived the rigors of academic challenges, but also the demands related to personal growth and the development of a high level of clinical skills. We're certain that the families and friends of our students have noticed the kinds of changes they've gone through in the past few years. You may have noticed being asked to process things, or that they need to analyze things. And you may have even heard, "You're annoyed that I keep reflecting your feelings." But above all, we hope you've seen our students become more adept at listening, communicating, showing compassion, and understanding others. While it is an honor for all students to graduate from the counseling and social work programs, we wish to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts of a few students who have distinguished themselves. Both departments would first like to recognize all the students who have won stipends. These stipends help recruit new social workers and marriage and family therapists into positions to work with underserved populations. Will all the recipients of the stipends please stand in both departments?
For us, that's Cal Sweat.
Thank you. It is a really big big deal. I want the audience to understand our university really takes all of the county and many of the state stipends compared to all the other institutions in the area. So we have an extraordinary group of students. I'd also like to recognize some students who have stood out a little more than their peers. First, the counseling department would like to present the award for excellence as a counselor. This honor is given to the student or students in our program who demonstrate extraordinary talent in their clinical skills. This year, we're delighted to present this award to 2 recipients, and I'd like you to please come to the stage and get your picture taken. Will Siling Frere and Megan Bless please come forward? we wish to bestow the award for academic excellence to a student in our department who has excelled in her scholarly work. This student has demonstrated consistently high achievement in her classwork and often went above and beyond in all academic endeavors. This year, the award is given to Ashley Devine. The award for outstanding research is provided to 2 recipients this year who've completed really outstanding research in their final projects. This year, the awards are given to Sylvia Soto and Chiara Polzanetti. Is Chiara not here? No, Chiara. Aw. Chiara Polzanetti. No? There she is. Okay, we're going to walk over there to get our picture taken. Okay. You can hear me because I was filming. Congratulations. Here, let's stand over here where we can get our picture taken. The award for outstanding service to the department is given to a student who's taken initiative and supported the department in a variety of ways, including volunteering for videos, helping the department with administrative work, and other tasks. We believe she'll go on to make a significant impact in the profession. We are pleased to offer this award to Carla Martinez. And we have one more award. This award is for social justice advocacy, and is given to someone who serves the community in a variety of ways beyond academic expectations. This year, the award recipient is Charles Royston III. Congratulations to all the award recipients in the Department of Counseling.
Congratulations to all of you from the Department of Counseling who deservedly won those awards. We have a few awards for the Department of Social Work as well. Ours are for research. And to present these awards, Dr. G and Dr. Cow, who are two of our, come on up, two of our main projects mentors and professors are going to offer these awards.
Master of Social Work program emphasized the importance of research in social work practice, and all concentration year students, graduates, conduct a year-long research project. The high quality of research project by our graduates have been evidenced by their success in winning statewide research award and presenting the studies at the national conferences. Every year at the commencement, we recognize students who developed most outstanding research project and select a student for Outstanding Research Award. This year, 6 students were finalists for the Research Award. First, we'd like to congratulate all 6 nominees for their outstanding research works. Please stand as your name is called. 2 students advised by Dennis Kao, Mia Ferreira, Angelica Cohen. Angelica Cohen, and Angelica Cohen, yeah. And Lucio Dry, advised by Dr. Jessica Martin. Lawrence Breggins, advised by Dr. Karen Lee. Chelsea Lowlins and Danielle DeBells, advised by Dr. Jueji. Among these 6 nominees, 2 students are recognized as honorable mention, and 1 student will receive Outstanding Research Award. I would like to announce our honorable mention first. First honorable mention goes to Danielle DeBellis. Please come forward. The title of her research project is The Effects of Parental and Peer Substance Abuse and Criminal Activity Amongst the Inmate Population. The second honorable mention goes to Lucia Dry. The title is, What is the Effect of Social Emotional Development and Academic Performance Among Preschool Age Students? Okay, the final one. Finally, this year's Outstanding Research Award goes to Lawrence Breggins. The title of the project is Adult Survivors of Child Maltreatment, Social Support, Coping Style, and Psychological Well-Being.
As you can tell, in both programs, we're very proud of our students and their achievements. They have worked very hard for the years they've been in both programs. At this time, I'd like to introduce Vice President of Student Affairs, Berenicia Johnson-Eanes. We are so delighted to have her here today. She's representing the university, but for us in the Department of Social Work, that we're also her home because she's a social worker. So we're delighted to have you here today, Dr. Eanes.
Good morning. It's so delightful to see all of you. Congratulations. On behalf of Dr. Mildred Garcia, the faculty, the staff, and most importantly, our Titan students, congratulations. So I have met a few of you all in your time here, and many of you all know my story, but what I remind people very often is when I got my master's in social work and then my PhD in social work, I had absolutely no idea that I would be in this seat doing this job. And so what I will offer to you today is that the road is interesting and long, and the destination is to be determined. So why not enjoy the ride? Very briefly, what I would like to impress upon you is enjoying the ride does not mean always having fun. It does not always mean that things will go your way. It actually means just the opposite. That you will have to work very hard, and that the fact that you have decided to help someone else should be all the coal you need in your engine. My father would tell me very often that as long as you absolutely know where and how you want it to feel when you get there, you can keep on trucking. So the important thing is along the way to gather information that will help you confirm that you're in the destination at the moment that you should be. Because you will have many opportunities, 1,000 jobs if you're like me. You will have been a WIC rep, run a counseling center, worked on a psych ward. You would have ran a Girl Scout day camp. You would have run an after-school program. You would have lived in the residence halls for almost 12 years, possibly. You would have taken care of being the assistant wedding coordinator for your aunt, which is a skill that will come back in hand. But at the moment, when you were hazed into working for her for the summer, you didn't know it. You will do all kinds of things, but you will still be helping people. And you will be feeling and experiencing things that will tell you things about where you want to end up. Do you want to be an administrator? Do you want to be a clinician? Do you want to research and be a scholar? Do you want to be the vice president of student affairs? Do you want to be the president of the university? Do you want to be the president of the United States? Do you want every experience that you have, along with the education that you are getting and the education you may get in the future, will give you the information and the feeling so that you will always be able to know that in the moment you are in the exact destination on the journey that you should. Do not be troubled. The long road is ahead, but it is delightful. It is beautiful. And as I said earlier this morning, when you fall, dust yourself off and get back up. And remember that here you have met some of the friends and colleagues that you will call in time of need. I do it every day. Who will be by your side and will tell you that you are fine. Girl, you better quit that job. Or possibly somebody, a mentor like I have, who will tell you you're being spoiled, get over yourself. Or somebody who will say, do you actually think that a supervisor cares about that? I hope that you will be daring enough to surround yourself who people will tell you the truth about you, that you can receive criticism and feedback about yourself, and even when your feelings are hurt, you can hear the message of reality. Again, the journey is long, but the destination is sweet. Please rest assured that if you invest in yourself and you listen to critical feedback and you dedicate yourself to growth and the learning of these amazing professions of counseling and social work, you cannot go wrong. Do not forget that yet you are a learned individual. Your family is with you at all times, and that just because you have a little bit more education they still know more. All of them. All of them. And in those times where you think you know more, know better than to say. And be very, very, very energetic about the fact that we all need theme music. We all need a little spry in our step. We need to have a reason to get up. You see, this is the best day of the year for me, and tomorrow. I have a very busy life and a beautiful family, and the reality of it is that this is a big, big, big place to run. We all run it together. But because of you, we get up every day and do it again. I can only pray that you will find your destination that is just the same. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eanes, for those words of wisdom. We're never smarter than our families, are we? At this time, I'd like to bring up some student speakers we have from the Department of Social Work. They submitted proposals for short speeches, went through a blind review process, and were selected to represent their cohorts. Our first speaker, Kirsten Gear, is representing our main campus cohort. Kirsten?
We made it! What an absolutely wild past few years it has been. 65,600 minutes of class, 63,000 minutes of internship, 128 days of fighting for a parking spot, 56 papers, presentations, and projects, 20 courses, 20 professors, 4 to 6 semesters, dozens of breakdowns, countless laughs, friendships, and now here we stand with 1 degree. Congratulations, Masters of Social Work class of 2017. This piece of paper and this hood will serve as an incredible symbol of all of our hard work. But these are just symbols and just items that will wither and wear like everything else. The main thing that will not wither or wear is the impact you will leave on your clients. I would like to personally thank you on behalf of all the peoples whose lives you will touch. Thank you for sacrificing your time with your loved ones to write that paper. Thank you for going into student debt so others can experience freedom from mental health problems. Thank you for spending your free time studying, researching, and writing so others can be okay, so they can be safe, so they can be happy. Thank you for sacrificing and dedicating your lives to making a difference to those who are struggling and suffering. And we have not been alone on this journey. I would like to thank our loved ones. Thank you to our family, friends, and significant others that have dealt with our numerous canceled plans, our emotional breakdowns, and our hours of complaining. We could not have done this without you, so thank you. And if we could cut off a chunk of this hood and give it to each and every one of our friends and families that supported us here to share our accomplishments, we definitely would. But we paid way too much for this, so you're not going to get that. Anyways, I digress. Your sacrifices were not for this piece of paper or for this hood. Your sacrifices were made to change the lives of thousands as a positive impact on your clients' lives ripple into the generations to come. This is your graduation, and more importantly, this is your commissioning as soldiers. You are warriors, warriors that fight for the vulnerable, the hurt, the silenced, and the forgotten. Yeah! Your classes have equipped you with the tools you need to fight for justice and empower your oppressed brothers and sisters in this world. So cling to your knowledge and your skills, stay together, and soldier on. And don't forget your passion to serve and heal those in need that brought you here in the first place. So when the burnout hits and all you want to do is run away, remember the eyes of your clients when they first experienced hope for the first time. Remember the challenging clients who were able to be sober and to work for the first time, be reunited with their children, or were able to experience community. And when you're stressed out by that client who fails to make progress, remember, as Professor Saxon continually tells us, everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. So choose to fill yourself with empathy. So my dear friends and fellow social justice warriors, here we go. We now enter the world for the first time as social workers. I'm so incredibly proud of all of you, and I love you all so dearly, and I'm blessed to serve and advocate alongside each and every one of you. So let us run, fearless into the world with our banner of hope held high. Soldier on with love without fear, and always choose hope. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Kirsten. And now, from our Irvine cohort, Sylvia Salto.
It's a beautiful view up here. I'm very glad to be up here. Hello, classmates, faculty, family members, and alumni. I am grateful to be standing up here representing the Irvine Flex program and proud to speak on behalf of Cohort 5. We are here today to commemorate the academic accomplishment of each individual sitting here. What some of you may not know is that you are also here to celebrate the culmination of a very winding path for each individual up here. This path was just not an educational one, but an emotional, mental, and physical one that at many moments led us to question our life choice to pursue the field of social work. In the beginning of our journey, we met each other with uncertainty of what this program would offer us. Some felt the uncertainty of meeting new people and meeting their personal goals, while others were uncertain of the sacrifices they signed up for. Still, we moved on, forward with our brave hearts and our great potlucks. As we progressed through the program, we felt different levels of uncertainty, an unprecedented one in which we dove straight into the whirlpool of self-awareness and reflection. We questioned our ability to provide others with the tools and support they required as we completed our first year of internship. Many of you family members can probably pinpoint this stage of your student's journey, and I think it's safe to generalize it as our emotional zombie stage. As the second year of the program finished, we discovered the strength in our uniqueness as therapists, social workers, and individuals that had successfully completed their first year of internship. We progressed with the uncertainty of how our last year in the program would affect us. Would we breeze on by, or we would struggle to keep the excitement and passion we had held on to since our first year? This last part began with the uncertainty of the political climate brought on in an election year. We sat in classes keeping each other updated on the possible outcomes for political positions and legislation that would greatly affect not only our personal lives, but the people and communities we serve. It was in these moments that I observed the strength and passion we have as a cohort. I was able to observe what professors had previously identified about us as a group, that we are strong and supportive as a cohort. Not only did we hold the best potlucks, and yes, the potlucks were really that good, but we were always one text, call, or email away from having a listening ear, a helping hand, or an understanding nod available. In some cohorts, this may be the case with only a select group of classmates, but in our cohort, each person felt that they had other students who would take the time to listen or help them without hesitation. Today, we walk out of these doors as proud titans and masters of social work, knowing that although life will always contain uncertainty, we will always have each other. Congratulations, Irvine cohort, and congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Sylvia. That was wonderful. Now, in the Department of Social Work, we have a student club called the Masters of Social Work Association, and the president of that club always speaks at our commencement ceremony. So Lonnie, if you can come up. But while Lonnie is coming up, I'd like all the officers to stand. All the officers of MSWA to stand. Thank you. They did an outstanding job this year supporting the department, and particularly the president of the club, Lonnie Tang. We're delighted to have them help us out so much this year. Thank you, Lonnie.
Sorry. Good morning, Dr. Chanel, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2017. I am extremely proud and honored to stand before you today to speak on behalf of this class as MSWA's president. If you ask me if I've ever imagined myself to be in the position I am right now, I honestly would tell you no. But life has a funny way of doing things. It seems to take you to unexpected places as though it was meant to happen the way it did. That's the beauty within itself. The primary theme I would like to discuss today is resilience. Resilience means the power or ability to recover readily. I don't think the individuals graduating here today woke up one day and said, I will be a social worker. I personally believe that these individuals have persevered and were resilient in their adversities, or have witnessed injustice or disheartening situations that spark the desire to promote and implement change. At times, life can be tough, and during moments of doubt, it's difficult to be fueled by optimism and motivation. But those who find beauty in tragedy and rose up from hardships carry great strength. These circumstances can liberate and enlighten a person. That's the beautiful thing about overcoming obstacles. You're in the position to say, whatever I went through was really painful, but I was able to get through it. And if I held the capacity to do so, I believe another will be able to do the same. Hence, why social work is such a life-changing profession. We want to be in a position to guide others and bring out the greatest strength in themselves. Personally, that was how I got into social work, having been through hardships myself. I have lived on my own since the age of 16 and have persevered through many challenges. Around that time, I learned through trial and error, and it was definitely one of the most difficult things I've had to endure. I was struggling financially, at times unable to feed myself or have a roof over my head. I remember reaching a point that made me believe that life wasn't worth living anymore. My brother did a very social worker thing that day. When I wasn't aware of my own abilities, he was there to remind me of the strength I had for enduring 5 years of hardship. I realized I had more power and control over my life than I thought I did. Like Epictetus once said, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Just like the wonderful individuals graduating here today, all of which had lives outside of school, internship, and wanting to change the world, but they too are human. Some had to plan weddings, some had to go through breakups, some had children they had to care for, some had to go through loss of a loved one, and some had to be caregivers, some had financial burden, and so much more. These things are extremely difficult things to go through during such a challenging journey. But these beautiful people resiliently persevered through all of which was difficult and made it here today. Professor Dumbledore from Harry Potter once said, yeah, it is in our choices that show what we truly are far more than our abilities. Thank you to every single one of you for choosing to be strong and pushing yourselves to reach this point of becoming MSWs. Your resilience will definitely be modeled to the clients you will serve. I want to dedicate this speech to each and every one of you. First, to my family and friends for being my rock. Second, to my MSWA board for always having my back. I am not the leader I am without you all. Next, to each and every one of you in the audience who has supported this class the last few years. Then to Dr. Chanel and the amazing professors who have made sure we will be prepared for our future endeavors. And finally, and most especially, to my graduating class that have made the past several years one of the greatest journeys I have embarked on thus far. I can't stress enough of how happy and grateful I am to have crossed paths with the people I did in this program who have made this journey such an incredible pleasure and privilege. I know that after today, each of you will go out in the world and leave lasting imprints in minds, hearts, and souls wherever you go. Knowing this eases me, because I know no matter where we go after today, whether we still speak or not, I know you will all be changing lives one after another. Congratulations, graduating class of 2017. You'll always have a special place in my heart.
Thank you so much, Lonnie.
Have you noticed it's kind of unbalanced? We had a last-minute blending of ceremonies, so they kind of do what they do, and we kind of do what we do, and we just threw it all together. So part of that is that we have a lot of talented students in our program. I'm sure they're talented social work students as well. And we're honored today to have one of our counseling graduates here to perform. Please welcome Julia Harrison. right, that was a wonderful performance. Thank you so much. And for more nerve-wracking stuff, the College of Health and Human Development would now like to present the candidates for the master's degree. In recognition of their achievement of a master's degree, graduates and candidates are presented with a hood symbolizing the completion of graduate work. The length of the hood to the middle of the back designates a master's degree. The satin lining of royal blue and white, our university colors, signifies that the degree was granted by California State University, Fullerton. The color of the trim indicates the discipline. You'll also notice some students wearing honors cords and stoles from their different professions.
So let's hood some graduates. What do you say? Family, guests, supporters, and faculty, I present to you the candidates for the Master of Social Work degree in the Department of Social Work in the College of Health and Human Development.
And I present to you the candidates for the Masters of Science in the Department of Counseling in the College of Health and Human Development. Will the candidates for the Masters of Counseling and the Masters of Social Work, one row at a time, please come forward and line up along the wall? And then we'll get everyone ready here.
Siling Frere. Raina Peterson. Chelsea Moana Girvan. Omar de la Vega. Denny Williams. Franco Romualdez. Cesar Rauda Rodriguez. Insia Hirawala. Yesenia Alvarado. Julia Harrison.
Lani Tang. Jennifer Lopez. Crystal Ramirez. Sylvia Salto. Kirsten Geyer. Danielle DeBillis. Megan Maurer. Michaela Williams. Gisela Aguilar. Daisy Linnea Tapia. Stephanie Nunez. Martha Negrete. Crystal Arbizu. Marisela Villegas. Erin Sagubo. Henry Tran. Angel Cabello. Angelica Martinez Victor. Anakari Corona.
Ashley Devine. Angie Wynn. Kylie Callis. Chiara Polzanetti. Jordana Kirschner. Charles Whippo Royston III. Lisa Catanzaro. Amy Hollenbeck. Sylvia Soto. Casey Cohn. Lindsay Burt.
Darlene Picarella. Jamie Nasland. Ludi Godoy. Sonia Garcia. Erica Carmona. Rocio Dry. Angelique Colleen. Ashley Hancock. Brian Satterfield. Belinda Farias. Nancy Gutierrez. Bianca Espinosa. Yesenia Marlene Lopez. Hile Rashid.
Abigail Abraham Jones. Penelope Ruth Perigo Spicer. Elizabeth Deweese. Caitlin Borghese. Samantha Galata. Silvana Ilali. Angelica Smith. Jacqueline Shear. Aaron Hatcher. Christopher Chanis Metz. Gina Clementi. Sarah Atchison.
Emma Ferreira. Ingrid Chung. Jennifer Long. Vivian Wu. Shanae Jones Love. Amanda Ricky. Brittany Lara. Deandra Karstensen. Melissa McCabe Leone.
Melissa Smith. Ines Osorio. Lisa Pear. Mareka McKinney. Natalie Gowan. Jennifer Huang Validio. Samantha Lawrence. Giselle Magdaleno. Carla Rebecca Martinez. Riley Harper. Natalie Vera Cruz. Christina Zender.
Minerva Camacho. Nereida Ramos. Tiffany De La Vida. Landon Weber. Myra Gonzalez. Melody Garcia. Nancy Chavez. Tiffany Kamat. Francis Lyle McBag. Chelsea Rawlings. Brenda Serafine. Shane Ige. Jennifer Guerra. Heather Koch. Cesar Porcayo Morales. Lawrence Leung.
Yuki Yoshida. Stephanie Resnicek. Christina Buntanand. Jessica Leone. Jessica Wellens. Megan Bless Bonning. Ruth Burton. Bree Wells.
Anna Vu. Myra Fabiola Covarrubias. Lawrence Fraggins. Danielle Lopez. Alexis Orens. Kaylee Brunel. Kellyanne Carson. Angelique Johnson. Ashley Barzaga. Candice Bruce. Carrie Bealey. Whitney Danielle Johnson. Amani Benderholm. Kelly McWilkinson. Maria Guadalupe Lamas Perez. Maria Janet Roman. Jacqueline Garcia. Jacqueline Conroy. Shabnam Brar. Stacia Naraski. Tana Wong. David Stein. Brittany Ahern. Allison Virtue. Rita Ulate. Diane Purserm. Michelle Torres. Lauren Pitzer. Holly Armijo. Kimberly Bieber Fall. Kelsey Richards. Laura Mason. Nikki Friedberg. Amanda Eastman. Maria Ayala. Faye Casey Feliciano. Stephanie Burgos. Megan Lapointe. Kara Lee. Vicky Vong. Matthew Mata.
We'll wait for these last few pictures to get taken. All right, congratulations to our graduates.
I just want to echo that. Congratulations on the culmination of all your hard work being recognized today.
The Department of Counseling and the Department of Social Work now have a brief culmination to our program that we wish to share with our families and friends. Dr. Cervantes, will you please come up?
Good morning and buenos dias. For the last several years, we in the Department of Counseling had a long historical tradition of making a promise to be the best people that you can be as professionals. We'd like to invite the Department of Counseling students who are graduating, as well as the Department of Social Work students who are graduating, to do so as well. To take a promise of professional, highest level ethics is indeed an important aspect that has been learned throughout the training and education that has occurred over the last 2, 3, or maybe even 4 years as you've been matriculating in these programs. So, I'd like to have the Department of Counseling students and the Department of Social Work students please stand. Now, please turn around and face your family and friends. I would like to invite the graduate students to now raise their right hands and take notice of the folks in front of you who are family and friends who supported you, and take notice of what's to your back, the faculty that have your back. Please repeat after me. I promise to uphold the following principles of professional practice. To uphold the welfare and dignity of the people who are in my community and of my clients. To support the integrity of relationships in all my professional involvements. To respect human diversity in all its manifestations and forms. To commit to a level of professional competence that is in keeping with my community and my profession. To recognize that learning is a lifelong process that I will support and model. To become the best human being that I can be, so I may positively influence not only my clients, but my family, friends, and colleagues, to uphold the ethical codes of my profession, as well as the highest moral integrity. I promise to discharge these principles and all related responsibilities and privileges to the best of my abilities, as I bear witness to such in the presence of my friends, family, fellow students, teachers, and professors. Thank you. Congratulations, classes of counseling and social work.
All right. Hey, we're almost done. Isn't that cool? So, for the social work students, I want to say, now you can officially call yourselves social workers. And I want to congratulate all of the counseling students as well on this fine accomplishment. Just a few quick announcements to remind you, there are receptions for both departments. The ones for the counseling department is in this building in the courtyard, just up this way a little ways. I'm sure your graduates can show you where to go. And the reception for the Department of Social Work is right outside the Social Work Department building in the second floor of the EC building. And once again, your graduates know exactly where to go because they've been going there for 2 years. Or more. So at this time, I would like to pronounce the commencement exercises of 2017 for the Department of Social Work and Counseling in the College of Health and Human Development are now concluded. If the graduates would rise, please wait until the platform party has exited, and we will walk right out the middle row here, and then graduates follow us, and then family and friends. Thank you.